Well, welcome to another Churns show.
Greetings.
Wow, that sounded very godly.
Yes.
I think
I've got an echo.
You got a little bit of an echo there. I know.
A little bit.
Very, very good, Ken. Very good. Well, Lisa, a little something different today.
A little something different, yes. We actually have a conflict at 3 p.m., which happens occasionally.
Yeah.
So we are actually recording today. So you're seeing us broadcasted at 3, normal time, but it's actually recording. So you know what that means, Tom?
That means that everybody wins the trivia because we don't have a trivia
We
today.
have no Dick Wit trivia today.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's very sad for me, but we will bring the trivia back on our next show.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, we will. Because we know how important that is. And besides,
Absolutely.
anybody that's been in our new office has seen the supply of wine that we have that's left over from the reverse
We have a
raffle.
lot of
We need to
it.
keep continuing to give out wine.
For
we
sure.
got a lot of it.
Yes,
That's for sure.
yes.
But I hate not having a bottle here I can sip during
You
the
know,
show.
we
Yeah.
feel kind of empty here, like we're missing something.
Oh,
Well, we used to have the time glass thing. Remember that?
We did,
The,
we did,
The
but-
hourglass thing. Remember that? We used to
I
You
remember
remember
that.
that, Ken?
Yeah, I do remember
We
that.
had to coordinate that together.
You need to tone Ken down a little bit, I think.
Yeah, tone me down.
'Cause he's coming across, like I said, very godlike.
We
He's-
need, we need to dampen him, huh?
No.
He's amped. Well, Lisa, let's get into the COVID stuff,
Yes,
right?
yes, absolutely.
So, I was looking at the COVID site. We look at the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services site. That's the one I use, for our statistics. And,
Right.
And honestly, I really have a lot of good news from this. I mean, I think everybody probably knows, as a country, the COVID rate is coming down, the percentages are coming down, and here in North Carolina, it's the same way. So let me just kind of throw some things at you all. The newly reported cases. So as of 2 weeks ago, as of 4 weeks ago, we were at 20,286 cases on that daily sheet that I have.
Okay.
Last time I did it, we were 14,966, which was 2 weeks ago. Yesterday, 2,888.
Wow.
Wow.
That is huge
Yes.
difference, right?
Yes,
Huge difference.
absolutely.
Our daily percent positive was 32.4 3 weeks ago, 22.2 2 weeks ago, and then 17.8 as of yesterday. But I think as a state, 14-day average, we are like around that 14% mark.
Okay.
So we're even less than that. I think, it can vary up and down a little bit.
Sure.
Here's the other good news, the hospitalizations. It was just 3 weeks ago that we were over 5,000 people in the hospital. So now we're just over 3,000 in the hospital. We're 3,042. So we have come down quite a bit there. The one sad part is, of course, we know that we've just had more deaths that have come from this. As a matter of fact, from 2 weeks ago, we've had 808 more deaths in the state. We're at 21,835 deaths here in the state, which is a lot of people, unfortunately. But our averages look great. The 14-day average for Forsyth County, 3 weeks ago we were 38.2 in Forsyth County, 38.2%. 35 2 weeks ago, they're 20 today. So that's a huge improvement. Guilford County is even better. Guilford County went from 30.4 3 weeks ago to 27.9 2 weeks ago. The last time we were on, 27.9. We're at 13.8. That's cut it in half over what we were just 2 weeks ago. So, we're really seeing some real movement. And, I used to like to do that 14-day per 100,000, per county thing. And even that's really come down. It's really been kind of great to be able to see that really dropping here. So, I looked a little bit at the the world statistics, and I looked a little bit at the U.S. statistics, and I drilled down to the North Carolina statistics in the U.S. And I did this once before. It's been a while, but I was looking at, and I don't know why. I guess maybe just because it's still it kind of just interests me a little bit. I was looking at cases per 1 million in population and where North Carolina ranks in there, and we're probably middle of the pack when it comes to that. And then I looked at, and then, the other big thing in there is the deaths, per million people of population. And where does North Carolina rank as a state compared to all the other states? And it's really a representation of the population. We have 10 million people, 10.8 million people here in North Carolina. Some of the other states have more, some of the other states have less, but it's really based on that 1 million per, that calculation. North Carolina is 41st out of 50. So, we're way down there, which means that we've had less deaths here per the amount of our population than most of the states have, which, that's a God thing for me, I think, that we've had that. Now, that doesn't help, unfortunately, the folks that have lost loved ones to COVID here in North Carolina, but I guess my takeaway from that is, things could have been worse and is worse in 40 other states. So, there's some things to be grateful for even in the midst of really tough statistics. And just a couple other things as I was looking around that I thought was interesting when I was looking around on the internet. There's a lot of controversy about masks right now. School systems are all trying to decide if they're going to keep masks or not do masks, or if they haven't done masks, are they going to go back to masks? And the masks are a big deal, right? I think a lot of residents here think that we make the decisions about when to wear masks and when not to wear masks, and honestly, we don't have anything to do with that. We follow what either the governor says or what the county says. And Guilford County, over the last month now, I guess, maybe a little longer, has been under this mask mandate. We know that Guilford County is going to be meeting on tomorrow. Tomorrow, the commission is going to meet tomorrow. I really wish it was like next week, because I think even by next week that it might be low enough that they might consider pulling the masks off again, but I just don't think we're far enough down yet for them to pull the masks away. So I'm worried that we're going to have to keep the mask for another month, but we'll see. And again, it's protection, and it's not the end of the world to wear a mask. But I know if any of you are like I am, I'm ready for the mask to be over with. I mean, at least thank goodness we don't have to wear the masks here, because you wouldn't be able to understand us as well if we were wearing our masks. But
Or when you're eating. I've had a real trouble with my mask on while I'm eating. It's just, to get it spoon under there and it drops off. And
it doesn't work very well.
No.
It's not fun playing pickleball with a mask on.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's not. And we know of residents that can't even play pickleball now because they can't wear the mask to play. And I understand that, because I struggle playing pickleball with a mask on. But I thought this was interesting and maybe a little telling. Just a little snippet about masks. Disney is actually starting tomorrow. They're going back to where their vaccinated guests do not have to wear masks any longer in their thing. So I repeat that only because I think I'm hoping that's a sign. That's kind of our first sign that, as a country, maybe we're moving back away from the masks again. We're getting low enough on our percentages that we can start resuming life again here as normal. So we'll see, right? At least I know we're going to talk a little bit more about opening, because next week is a big week for us, but we'll talk about that in a second.
Yes.
I got one more set of statistics to kind of share that I thought would be interesting, and this is for the state of North Carolina. Every once in a while I kind of pull this out and look at this, but this is the vaccination rates. And so I'm just going to look at the 2-dose, either what we consider to be fully vaccinated, which is 2 doses of the Pfizer or the Moderna, or the 1 dose of the J&J. And so as a total population here in North Carolina, 61% of our folks are vaccinated. That's from newborn on up. If we look at 18 plus years old, it's 71%, and that's kind of the figure that the state kind of uses as more of the adult population at 18 plus. But I thought this was very telling. 65 plus, 93%.
Oh, that's great.
93% are fully vaccinated. And then when you go back and add in, we've had now, the booster now has been in effect here since probably, I guess, September. They started doing the booster. And, we've all had our boosters here. A lot of us have had boosters here. And so, in total, here in North Carolina, 48% of our population has received a booster at this point. which is pretty good. I didn't think it was that high even, but that's pretty good. And it actually, even at 18, that's in total. And when you look at the 18 plus, it's 51%. So it's not really that far of a difference. But when you look at the 65 and older, it's 70%. So I'm not surprised by that. I think that makes sense. But still, it's, I think we're all seeing that eventually here, before too long, it's in order to be considered what they consider fully vaccinated, eventually they're going to say you have to have the booster. Because we know that most of us got the original vaccinations back in January, February of last year.
Right.
And think about it, if we hadn't had boosters between now and then, how much of that vaccination really is still in our system? It's hard to say, right? It's hard to say. And that's been the problem now, is that, nobody really knows. How long do these antibodies kind of last in us? And so, but anyway, I just, I think it's really good news. The only other thing I wanted to share was that due to Lisa's help, I was able to get my home COVID test sent to me. I got my 4 tests, because I think it's 2 boxes per family or something like that, or a household. And so I was able to get mine. And Lisa, I think it was funny because you helped me get mine, and I got mine before yours, I think. So
I think you did.
by a day or two. It was only by a day or two, but
but we did get them pretty quick, because
I was
remember we were
surprised by
kind of
it.
joking that maybe we'll get them in May.
Yeah, right. But no, those
And
things
we
came
got 'em pretty
fast.
quick.
Yeah,
So,
so
yep.
hopefully a lot of our residents got those.
Right.
They're useful to have,
Right,
I
just
think.
nice to have it,
Yeah.
just in case.
Unfortunately, I haven't had to use any of them yet.
Me either,
but,
which is good.
But it can happen, so. And then the last thing about COVID, and then we'll move on. The lower percentage that we're seeing across the U.S., across the state, is also happening here as well. We have only had, we had 1 staff member last week that was positive. We've had one staff member this week that's been positive. So we really haven't had a whole lot of folks. We still have some folks that are symptomatic, and they may prove to end up being positive for COVID. But, for 2 weeks ago, we were at 8, 9, maybe 10 for the week.
More,
And then the week
right,
before that,
right.
we were probably at 15 to 18 in that week. So, we've seen it go up, and we're seeing it really kind of come down pretty big
Absolutely.
right here now. So I'm really pleased about that. I think that's good. So, as a community, I think we're rocking on that. So, okay. Lisa, I think we can move on from there. I think
Okay, so let's go into some other news.
Okay.
Activities and in-person fitness classes. We start all that back up on Monday. So that's very exciting. It's nice just to have that out there.
Not if you're a couch potato.
Well, no, you're right.
Because if you're a couch potato, you can say, well,
You
there's no
enjoy the no
classes, so I don't
activities.
get to work out. And now there's classes, and I got to go, yeah.
That's true. That's true. So in addition to activities and fitness classes, all that good stuff, you may also bring in 2 guests per household again to our dining venues. The only exclusion on that would be Sunday brunches. We have not opened up Sunday brunches to guests yet, but other venues and other days, you can bring 2 guests in again.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. It's
Oh,
another
yeah.
good step toward normal.
Yeah, and Lisa, correct me if I'm wrong. I think this will put us back to where we were before Omicron.
It will. It will.
So-
That's right where we were.
Yeah, that's right where we were before Omicron.
Yeah.
And our hope is at some point here, rather quickly, we can go away from even having the 2
Absolutely.
plus, only having 2 from per household come in
Yes, yeah.
to visit for meals.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things dining starting to talk about,
There
right?
are,
There's a lot
yes.
of good stuff.
Yes.
We're talking about the clubhouse again.
Yeah.
Rolling out things there.
Yeah.
The catering. I know Joseph and his team have already started talking about the Wayfair.
Yeah.
So things like that, it's exciting. Things are coming, folks. Just hang in there with us.
Yeah,
It's-
and we just need to be
stuff's coming.
praying that
So,
maybe we're done with these variants. I really hope. I mean, I was looking today just to try and see if there was a variant out there that we needed to be worried about, and there's always that risk. But
Sure,
I'm not,
sure.
other than that Omicron super variant thing
Right.
which has already been going through
Right.
here, I'm not really seeing anything at the moment. Again, that's not saying it can't happen, but I'm hoping we're going to get, even if we get another variant, I'm hoping that we have 3, 4, 5, 6 months, maybe even longer, where we can really kind of get back into living. We've talked about
Right.
this.
right.
When things are good, we need to be living
to
life to
enjoy.
its fullest,
Yep.
and if we got to pull back, we got to pull back. But we're going to try, as long as it doesn't get worse, as in, more deadly, I guess is the way to say that.
Yeah.
I think we can try and keep laying back a little bit more, because we got this protective bubble here with our vaccinations and boosters, and so, and as long as they continue to work to keep us out of the hospital and to keep us from getting really sick, and most importantly, keeping us from passing, we're pretty protected here.
Yep.
Right. Also, speaking of activities, starting to look at future events. So we'd like to look toward the future.
Yeah.
So one of those events coming up, it's already advertised on CareMerge, but our River Landing anniversary dinner. So that's celebrating 19 years this year.
Yeah.
So that is Thursday, March 3rd. So make sure, mark your calendar for that. We will have more details coming out soon. So
Yeah.
I'll be watching for that in the March calendar.
Yeah.
But that's exciting, because we've had to postpone that. Usually we like to do it in January,
Yeah.
usually that last Thursday of the month. But
Yeah.
but Omicron struck again, and we had to bump it. But we're on for March 3rd. So
And the reality about the anniversaries is the reason we do it like the last Thursday of January is because, January 30th of 2003 is when we opened up the doors officially. So we try and keep
Yep.
it somewhere close to that date. But for those of you that have been with us a while, you'll know that when we have our 5-year anniversary intervals,
right,
we always do them in like May. We wait to do them. So like next
do.
year, we're going
We
to hit
do.
20 years.
That's
We
right.
won't do it until May because, quite honestly, we want to go back to doing the fireworks again if we
Right.
can.
We like to do
I've
outdoor
always got to
events.
convince Tim Webster
Yes.
that that's okay to do. He always shows
He's
up
there
with
with
his
his
fire
fire
extinguisher ready to go
extinguisher.
in case that. But that's always a fun time to be
Yes.
able to do
Yep.
that. And
Yep.
so it's not unheard of for us to have pushed it.
right.
And we just couldn't do it in January
Right,
with the
right.
timing. But this is
Absolutely.
going to be good. March 3rd will be a really
Yep.
good time to have our anniversary.
And then, Tom, another favorite event that we have not had since 2018,
We're
right?
saying prayers for good weather.
Okay, the car show in May.
Yeah,
So we're starting to talk about it.
we are.
We actually have a meeting coming up here soon, so we're gonna prepare for it.
Yeah.
So hopefully nothing gets in our way.
Yeah,
This
so
is
that's-
the year, Tom.
I'm hoping. So this will be Saturday, May 14th is the date that we're planning for the car show. And, it's funny, that show started out as a marketing adventure on our part. It actually came from an idea from a staff member and one of our nurses over in Muirfield. I'll never forget. She talked to me, she goes, my husband has a car, a classic car. This would be a great place to do a classic car show. And I sat there and went, she's right. It
Yeah.
really would be. And so, our first one, we had 12 cars, I think, came to it. I mean, we had it out in the front parking lot. And, we've grown till, we haven't had one in now 4 years.
Right.
So, but the last one we had here, we had over 200 classic cars in the back part of the
That's
property
amazing.
here. It was wonderful. It just,
Yeah.
we need good weather though.
Right.
The cars don't come out very well in the
They
rain.
don't,
Nope.
they don't. Even a few drops stops them
Yeah,
from
we
coming,
noticed that. But it's a
so-
fun thing, and then I guess where
Yeah.
I was going with this is it's progressed now beyond just a marketing event.
Right.
It really is a community
It
event,
is,
meaning
it
our
is.
residents love to have their families come. and
Absolutely.
They like to walk through the cars, and we
Yeah.
have a DJ playing, and we
We
have
have some
food and
yeah.
entertainment, and so
Yeah.
it's a fun day.
It
And many of our residents drove those model cars as their first cars.
Yes.
It's a nostalgic event,
That
too.
is true.
true.
That's
Yep.
a good point.
Yeah.
And there are many of us that walk through those cars wishing we could still drive some of those cars.
Yes, absolutely.
Because there are some really cool cars that come here.
And think about, with you saying it's been 4 years, there's several of our residents that have never even experienced it.
I know.
So
Right.
this will be pretty cool if we
Yeah.
can pull that off this year.
Yeah, I'm
So,
hoping. So
yeah.
that's the game plan.
Yep.
We're planning to try and do that this year. So that'll be good.
Couple other announcements, air filters in McCorkle and Ayrshire will be changed Thursday, so just be aware of that happening. Don't forget to sign up for the Bryan Series. Sign-up sheets can be found under the Series tab. Please note that all Bryan Series events are requiring individuals to be fully vaccinated against COVID. You must provide proof of vaccination, either the original vaccination card or a printed copy of the vaccine card with appropriate ID matching the name of your documentation. So I think that's a good step, actually.
is.
Those are large events,
Yep.
so
Yep.
anything related to that is good.
Yep.
A simple gesture, feeding the hungry in High Point. Remember to bring your bags of groceries to the designated pickup locations on Friday, February 18th. If you have any questions, you can call Joanne Least, one of our wonderful residents that heads up that project. So we appreciate her doing that. Okay. Last time, I think we need to take some time and talk a little bit about, Holly, the clinic, those kind of things. I think it's important we take some moments to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, let's just be real here. It's been a hard week. It's been a hard week for all concerned. Holly leaving has, been really devastating for a lot of our residents and staff members that have her as their provider. And, I will assure you that no one wanted this to happen. Holly is a quality person. She's provided so much love and care for our residents over the many years that she's been here. And, yesterday was a really tough day, quite honest with you. The hard part about that is, in my role as executive director, I've been doing this for almost 20 years now here at River Landing. Honestly, this is probably one of the hardest events that we've had to go through as a community with her leaving us. And, I've gotten a good bit of feedback from residents about this, and, where there's all kinds of rumors going around about what's happened, and I just need to apologize up front. In my role, whatever information I might have, I can't share that.
Right.
And that's really hard for me. There's always two sides to a situation, and in this case, there's actually three sides to a situation, because it's Holly and it's Wake, who she works for, and then there's River Landing. And Wake and River Landing, PHI, whichever you want to look at it, we can't share that. And it would be unprofessional for us to do it, but it's also, anything that we share in light of this would really be a violation of Holly's personal rights, in my opinion. So, so we can't share, and I'm sorry about that, because I know what that does is that leaves residents and folks wondering, why and how and all that. And I'm going to say one more thing, because I really want this to be more about Holly and how great she is than it is about this situation. But I'm just going to share this. Sometimes circumstances come up in a situation that can't be fixed. And they can't be fixed, and they can't be fixed. And it's not necessarily the fault of any one person or any one person in that situation, but those things happen. And I hate that. I hate that for Holly. I hate that for our residents. I hate that for River Landing. I hate that for Wake. I mean, we're all going to suffer through this one. So
it's really a snapshot of life at River Landing, which is the best of times, but also the worst of times. I mean, we try to suck the marrow out of life here because we know we're going to have loss constantly. I remember when Mary died, our sales team.
That was hard, too.
And it was devastating. You can't fix that.
No.
You just have to, you celebrate their life, you celebrate what they did, and I celebrate Holly. I heard about how people were affectionate toward Holly, and then a few months ago, I had this chronic sore throat, and that's the first time I saw her professionally. She didn't ask me to undress, which I appreciate. But no, I got a chance to see her bedside manner, and so I get why she was loved. I mean, she wasn't just a practitioner; she was a friend.
She was.
A colleague, a companion. So
she was so personal with
her residents. Unbelievable.
And even if you weren't a patient of hers, that's the way she was with other people as well. I mean, she was just a great person. At least I know you.
Oh yeah. I mean, personally, I know how our residents feel, because 3 years ago, I transferred to Holly to be my PCP, my primary care. So I do understand it. So when all this was transpiring, I mean, I was feeling it, and I'm like, Tom, oh my gosh. I mean, really, I was feeling it, and it's hard when it hits you personally. Because you feel it personally, and part of that was my selfishness. I mean, I get that. I get that. I had to acknowledge that because I didn't want to lose her. You know, she's been great for me. Like I said, she's done my doctoring, and not just that, but as a personal friend.
Yeah.
You gain that trust
Yeah.
with her.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was very hard to hear
Absolutely.
that news. So I do understand, and a lot of times we can't understand it. You know, we can only empathize with someone, but I truly feel it too.
Yeah.
So I do understand that.
Yeah, she was an icon here. I mean, and she,
Absolutely.
you know, just so well loved, and people have a
Yep.
hard time understanding that anything could happen that would cause this. And,
Right.
And I get that. I understand that.
Yeah.
And, you know, all I can say is I'm sorry that this has happened for all of us here.
Right,
And we just,
right.
you know,
And when you lose somebody, regardless of how you lose them, we didn't lose her in death, thank God.
Yeah,
but
amen to
we're
that.
still losing her, and you have this range of
It's
emotions.
still a loss.
I mean,
right,
yeah,
right.
the whole stages of grief thing comes into play. You know,
Absolutely,
denial.
absolutely.
You try to bargain. You're angry. You're disappointed. You're depressed, and then eventually you get to acceptance.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
but you
You're
feel
right.
the whole range.
Right, and it's okay to feel all of that.
It is.
Yeah.
It's natural.
That's-
Completely
Yeah,
natural.
to acknowledge that, that's okay.
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just, like I said, it's been a hard situation, and,
Yeah.
you know, we certainly wish the best for Holly, and, you know, she's such a great person. You know, I really believe that the Lord's got something good for her in store. You know, I believe that, you know, when a door closes, you know, another door opens up, and so,
And she has a strong faith as well.
She
so
does.
I
Yeah, she
believe
does.
that for her too.
I agree,
Yeah.
I agree.
I wrote a prayer for her. Would that be appropriate?
I think would be very appropriate, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I invite you to pray with me. Oh God, we are so grateful for those to whom you have given gifts and capacities for care and healing. Our clinic staff and medical staff have been a blessing to us and those we love. But today, oh God, we want to thank you especially for Holly, for her gifts and graces, for all the love and healing that came our way through her. Many of us are sad that she will no longer be part of our community, that she will no longer be that comforting presence that we so valued. We will miss her deeply. And we don't yet know who will step in to help us in our time of need. So in this time of transition and unknowns and loss, we first of all ask your blessings on Holly. Help her find new ways to use her great gifts.
Yes.
Help her continue to be an instrument of your peace and healing. And we ask you to increase our faith that you will provide for us another who has gifts and graces that we need. Even now, prepare that person to be the blessing you would give to our community in the days ahead. Hear these prayers of hope that we offer in the name of our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Thanks, Ken.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Thank you.
I appreciate that very much.
God's blessings
We
upon her.
need that, honestly. We all
Absolutely.
need that.
Yeah.
So, you know, Ken, you mentioned in the prayer, which I appreciate, the transition. So, you know, we've been working with Wake on a transition plan, and we expect to have that out today to talk a little bit about that. And God's already answered one of your requests already, and that is we do have somebody that Wake is going to be providing as a replacement for Holly.
Yeah.
And so we'll. You know, I think that can wait as far as announcing that goes. We'll
Yeah.
wait till next week to be able to announce that. But I just want everybody to know that Wake has been working on this, and they do have a replacement for her. And,
Yeah.
you know, I don't want this to be about that. I want this to be about Holly today. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Ken, we need to lighten up
Oh, yes.
We do.
today.
Well, because once again, at River Landing, we get both ends of the spectrum, don't we?
We do.
And you
Yes.
have to embrace both and live both.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
And I think you got some humorous things.
Yes, I do, but Michelle, I didn't get the clicker, so you're going to have to advance the slides for me, if that's okay.
Put Michelle to work.
I know, yeah. Well, she was nodding off over there, so I thought this would help. Okay, so this one may relate to some of you. I just paid for a 12-month membership to the gym, and my bank called to see if my credit card was stolen.
Oh,
Yeah, back to that workout thing, right? Okay. My emotional support animal is a chicken, a 4-piece with a biscuit.
oh my
You know, lots of people are having different support animals these days, and I think that's a great idea right there.
We should have had that joke yesterday. It was fried chicken.
Comfort,
my
yeah,
gosh.
yeah, comfort food.
Yes.
The groundhog said 6 more weeks of winter, so I ate him. Thanks, dude. Things that no longer interest me: driving at night, leaving the house at night, driving in the winter, leaving the house in the winter, driving, leaving the house.
Oh my gosh.
I think this would be a great gag. Bought this old prison bus and 50 orange jumpsuits. Now I need 50 friends to put them on so we can go to the Walmart parking lot and then jump out and run off.
Oh my gosh. That's bad.
Oh, that would be, somebody could get shot over
Oh
that.
my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah, we're not going to do that with our bus, Miss Nancy. We're not going to do
No,
that.
no.
Please don't ride with me if you're going to grab the dash or scream every time we run off the road. It makes me nervous. Oh, I don't think the therapist is supposed to say "wow" that many times in your first session, but here we are.
It's a good thing.
I'm amazed where you find these.
Yeah. My husband was a bit upset because I told him his jeans were in the dryer and he checked and couldn't find them. But don't worry, I found them. They were in the dryer.
Yep.
I resemble that remark.
Okay.
Yep.
My husband does.
My
That's-
wife would say the same thing about me
Yes.
as well.
Holy cow.
Okay. If anyone gets a message from me about canned meat, don't open it. It's spam. That's the groaner for today. I've got to have at least one groaner
I
in there.
like that one. I know that's a groaner, but I like that one.
Are you involved in any dangerous sports? The physician asked. Well, sometimes I disagree with my wife.
I didn't realize that was a sport, but it kind of can be. at
It is
times.
dangerous. I know that. Yeah. I like this one. Me checking if that salad I ate last week has worked its magic yet.
Oh.
Apparently, salads don't work that way.
No, apparently not.
Okay, now if your dog had a calendar, this is what it would look like. And I don't know if you can read the small thing, but if this is your dog's calendar, every day has "best day of my life" written on it.
Oh,
Isn't that great?
that's awesome.
Yeah, if we could only see life like our dogs. I asked my friend to spell wonton backwards. He said, "Not now."
Oh my gosh. Wow.
That's
Okay.
cute.
I always wanted to lay naked on a bearskin rug in front of a fireplace. Evidently, Cracker Barrel has a policy against this.
Oh my goodness.
I love this one. This is an older couple and a priest doing their wedding. And now, if you would like to repeat your vows, and the guy says A-E-I-O-U. They're almost vowels. They're more like vowels, but yeah, same idea. Now, Bubba Bob sent me this picture of his brother and his new invention. It's a toilet lid seat hanging around his neck. He's using as a,
Plate
Now
over.
I see it.
There's a plate over.
Okay, like a TV tray.
it's a TV tray.
Right. Okay. Oh my
Now,
goodness.
that is some Texas ingenuity right there. Isn't it?
Wow.
Oh, Bubba Bob. That's his brother there.
Oh my gosh.
Dang.
Ken, I think we needed that. Thank you.
Oh,
Yes.
gosh.
Yeah, those
Yes.
were awesome. I appreciate it.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Well, Lisa, we don't have a trivia winner today.
We don't. We don't.
So we don't have to
we
go
don't
to
have
that at this
part.
point. But,
Yeah.
I'm excited for the future. We got some good things coming up with the car show and our anniversary, and we just need to keep working towards that. And better weather's coming our way. I think tomorrow's supposed to hit 70 here, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely. It's because somebody ate the groundhog.
Yeah, apparently so.
It's going to warm up now.
There you
I,
go.
I understand that the groundhog is wrong 60%
Yeah.
of the time. Is
And
what I-
still, he has his job. I mean,
it's like a baseball player, right?
right.
They get paid millions of dollars for only being good 1/3 of the time,
Right,
right? At
yep,
best, or
yeah.
30% of the time. But
Yeah.
well, we appreciate you all watching us today. It was a little bit of a heavy show, I think, with some of the things that
Yeah,
are going on.
yeah.
But at the same time, we need to be able to release a little bit too, and be able to talk about through things. And that's
Sure.
kind of who we are as a community, is trying to work through things. And generally when we have the show, I was telling Lisa this. Generally when we have this show, it's just loaded with great news, right? And so today it was a little bit different because we had to share something that was.
Sometimes you got to have a family meeting. Did y'all have those as
Yeah,
families? You
yes.
have to have a serious talk. You gather everybody together
That's
and
a
you have your
good
talk.
way of saying it.
Yep, family meeting.
So that's good. That's a great way to characterize
Yep.
it. So.
Yep.
So to our family out there, this ends the meeting. But we thank you for watching as
Yeah.
always. Lisa, I don't know when our next show is. Have we set that yet? Do you know?
We haven't, but it will be in March and Compass.
March and Compass,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So probably early in March, we'll probably
It
go
will,
next
it
one.
will, 'cause
We've
we're
been
done
trying
for
about every
February.
2 weeks, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
we'll probably do that. But as the things get better and less, we might go back to being less on the show. But it's obviously a good sign too. We're only doing it every other week now
Right,
too.
right.
So.
Yep.
You know, March contains the only date that is a command.
Oh, really? What date is that?
March 4th.
There you go. I like that.
There's
That's
the
good.
theme. We're going to March 4th.
And also, oh no, it's May 4th. I was thinking March 4th. May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
That's May. We'll save that one for another time.
That's a groaner there.
See, I'm already trying to jump ahead into the spring, right? at this
Yeah,
point.
I hear
So-
that.
So spring's around the corner, it's going to have spring-like weather a little bit today and tomorrow, and so that's all good stuff. Hopefully we'll start seeing some trees start to bloom here before long, and really a good sign of spring. But
Ready for it.
yeah. But we love you all. We appreciate you very much. Thanks for being a part of the family here at River Landing. We hope you have a great day and a great week.